Hey, we got another good show for you today. I want to thank everybody for joining us. This is going to be good. First of all, let's talk about the show coming up. The Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show is coming up at the Orange County Fairgrounds the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of March. And we're running out of days to get your shirts. So if you don't have one of my shirts yet, if you don't have one of my shirts and you don't show up at the show wearing a shirt, you're not going to get the free stuff that we're going to be giving away at the show. You're just not going to get it. So what we're going to do, Kelly and I have discussed this, and what we're going to do for you is if you want to pre-order a shirt for the show, if you want a shirt for the show and you want to get that free stuff we're going to be giving away from all our sponsors, then you can call us after the show today and you can pre-order your shirts and we'll have them for you at the show. But there's no way that you're going to get your shirt delivered in time for the show. That'll be the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th of March. Kelly and I will be up there next week at this time. We'll be up in Orange County getting ready, setting up our booth on Wednesday, and then welcoming you all Thursday. And then if you haven't heard yet, and I know Bill's posted it, but I'm sure most of you haven't seen the post yet, but I'm going to be speaking every day at the show. I'll be on a stage right by my booth, right outside the door where my booth is. We'll have a stage out there, and we'll be speaking every day. On Thursday and Friday, we speak at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's Marley. Hey, buddy. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we're this first speaker in the morning at 11 o'clock. Both Saturday and Sunday. So you want to make sure you get there the show early, gang, because it's going to be super duper crowded. I can promise you that. I already know it's going to be super duper crowded just by the pre-sale tickets alone. Tells me this show is going to be super duper crowded. So understand that and make sure that you get there early. There's going to be plenty of parking at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Festival. There always is. But the problem is if you don't get there early, you're going to be parking it a mile away. And you're going to have a long walk. And if you haven't pre-bought your tickets, then you're going to make that long walk. And then you're going to get there and you're going to have to stand in line for an obscene amount of time. So make sure you get there early. Get there early, gang. The line is going to be incredible. I have a feeling if you're not there early, you'll still be standing in line when I start speaking on Thursday and Friday. And probably Saturday and Sunday also, because I speak an hour after the gates open. And so it's going to be tight to get in there. So if you do want to see me speak, you want to get in there earlier. So make sure you get there early and get in there and get your tickets now. Hey, Augie, Dan, Eric, everybody that's joining us, thank you. Make sure you get there early, though. I can't even emphasize that enough because it's going to be gnarly. You're going to be blown away by the amount of people. It is going to be something you can't comprehend. So just understand that and bring your patience with you. All right? And then if you show up wearing one of my shirts, you get it from me or Kelly Girl. If you haven't already got your shirt, then Kelly Girl's got a massive bag, a humongous bag of stuff she's giving away from all our sponsors, past sponsors, new sponsors. We're going to have a lot of stuff. Costa's stepped up. Promar stepped up. Akuma stepped up. So they're going to have plenty of free stuff to give you, gang. So make sure you get there early, and we will be there speaking at 1 o'clock Thursday and Friday, 1 o'clock Thursday and Friday, 11 o'clock Saturday and Sunday. All right. Today's show, we're going to be giving away a 4-pack of tickets to the show. I'm sorry, I'm just reading some of these posts that are popping up. I apologize. Kelly told me not to do that during the show, but I can't help it. We're giving away a 4-pack to one lucky winner that posted. I just need to make sure I got the name right. that posted a video, posted a report to our website. It's very, very easy to post a report. And Alfred Gills, I'm going to let you know you won the 4-pack. That was a great, great, great fish report you posted. And if you guys haven't seen the fish report area on our website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, Alfred went over to the island. He followed the game plan, and he had a phenomenal time fishing. I'm not going to tell you all about what he caught because you have to be a member to learn. So you need to be a member of my website. Also, I got to look at my app. The app's going to be full on operational before the show starts. And the app is incredible. And those of you that are already members of the website, you are going to be very, very happy. You're going to have right at your fingertips. It's going to be live before the show starts, just in time for the fishing season to start. It's the best app ever made for fishermen. It's incredible the amount of stuff you're going to get. And the community alone is well worth every part of this. So I want you to understand that I did everything I could to have this app ready for you all before the season starts. And I'll have it ready for you at the PCS show. So you show up at the show, come to my seminar and show everybody how the app will be. Plenty of people there that are members of my website. There'll be plenty of people there that are sitting on the fence, don't really know if it's really worth $9.99 a month to know where to go and how to do it and what to do when I get there. That sounds like a lot of money, that $9.99. I don't know if it's worth it. Well, you all that are members, you can show them. You can show them the app. You can show them the community. There'll be plenty of people there that are sitting on the fence, can't figure it out. The reason that we brought that up is because today's show's talking about information and how important it is to have a plethora of information. You want to have as much information as you possibly can when you go out fishing on your boat, or you go out fishing with somebody else on their boat, or you go out on a sport boat. You're always going to walk up to the captain and you're going to try to get as much information as you can from him. You're also, when you're going out on your private boat, going fishing for the day, you want as much information as you can. You want some type of a code group. You want some information so that you can do your very best to get people onto the fish. You're going out fishing on your boat. If you're just going by yourself, we already know you're a member of my website, so you have a plethora of information, and you're never going to have to suck at fishing again if you follow the simple game plan. But if you're not, and you're going out on a boat and you don't really know what's going on, you're going to get out there and you're going to start looking around for what? Dan, what do they all look for when they're not a member and they don't have any information? You start looking for all the other boats out there. You start trying to figure out where all the other boats are, and you end up spending your day driving from cluster of boats to cluster of boats to cluster of boats. And you're driving over there and you're looking to see if those guys on those other boats are catching anything. Hey, Dave Hill, how are you, buddy? What an absolute waste of your beautiful day. When you finally get a day to go fishing on your boat, why do you want to spend the day looking at other people to see if they're catching anything? That's ludicrous. The members of Your Saltwater Guide, our members, what do we all fish for when we go out fishing? What do we all fish for? We all fish for fish. Yeah, Eric Smith, Cubby is a good person to have in your code group. But gang, I don't understand, and I see it every day, why you would waste your day off to go fish for a boat. There's so many boats in the harbors. You could just stay in the harbor and fish in the harbor. You could drive up and down each and every dock, and you could see all the boats, and you would have a blast. Or you could just stay home and watch videos on YouTube and watch people catch fish. But the day you finally get to go fishing, it's your day to go fishing. Please do not spend the day out there following boats around and going from groups of boats to groups of boats to groups of boats looking to see if they're catching anything. That's the really unique thing about Your Saltwater Guide. We've built a phenomenal community where you can go on and you can ask people like Dan and Kim Smith, or you can ask Eric, or you can ask Dave Hill. You can go on there and you can chit chat with each other and put together a buddy boat system. You're going to follow the game plan that you get on Thursday afternoons around 4:30, and you're going to take that game plan and you're going to split it up. And Dan's going to go look in one area at La Jolla, and Chris Bailey's going to go look at the other area, and then Eric Smith's going to go look at Point Loma, and you're going to three work together as a team. And when you find which one of those three areas on Dave's game plan is biting, you simply call the other guys, and then all three of you can share on catching those fish. But man, when you're out there on your boat and the only thing you have going for you is your eyes, and you can see the other boats, and you spend the day fishing for boats, what happens when you do that? You catch nothing. You come back, you're skunked, you're pissed, you don't know what happened, you're all upset, and then you go, God, I wish there was a way I could understand why these people are catching fish every time they go, and I don't catch anything. What is the deal? And there you go. Mike Allen, Caden, tell you, the very best thing is to never ever fish for boats and have a plan. If you already have a group of guys that you're working with and you have a great code group, then phenomenal. Don't get on my website. You don't want any information that I have. But if you don't, and you're just going fishing and you're trying to figure it out, and you're looking at the fish counts at San Diego or LA or Newport, and that have to go by, but you have no clue where to go, why would you not want to spend the extra money to get information that is given to you freely every week so that you can have a game plan so you can go fishing? But the number one thing and we're going to talk about this on our Zoom meeting on Thursday, and hopefully you all got the email. I'm doing another Zoom meeting for how the website works, and that's going to be on Thursday. And I hope that the members join us so that the people that aren't members can understand, and we can all talk about the community that I've built over at Your Saltwater Guide. This community, gang, is absolutely incredible, because what we've done is we've not allowed any negativity to be shared on the community. It's not like one of those other websites. We don't have to mention their names, but if you ask a question, you're hit with a plethora of smart poop answers. Just the most worst people in the world sitting in their underwear in their mom's basement telling you that you don't know what you're doing because you asked a simple question. Well, at my website and my community, I didn't mean to say mine. Our community that we've built at Your Saltwater Guide is a community where we all share what happens out on the water when we go. We all share how the game plans work for us. We all share everything with zero negativity. If someone's caught posting any negativity at all on our website, I ban them forever. They're banned. I give them back every penny of their money. I don't need them. I don't want them to be a member of our website. We ban them. And what is the number one thing I teach over at Your Saltwater Guide? We never fish for sport boats. We don't follow the sport boats. We don't go anywhere near the sport boats. If we get to an area and the sport boats are already there, we already have a plethora of other spots, because when Your Saltwater Guide gives out the game plans on the weekends, he gives you a whole bunch of areas to go to so you don't have to fish for boats. But if you get there and there's already a boat on the spot, then you know one thing, you should have left earlier. But you couldn't get up earlier because you were lazy, because you were busy delivering Pepsi all over the planet with no helpers. And so you had to sleep in a little bit. But even my guy that delivers Pepsis all over the planet, he still gets up early on in the day to go fishing. And he's always the first one at the bait barge. And he's always the first one out there. Because why? Because it matters, gang. Every single thing that we talk about at Your Saltwater Guide matters. When I tell you that you don't want to go out and be at the bait barge at 6 o'clock in the morning, that's because That's the worst time you could possibly be at the bait barge. Why? Because all the sport boats are going out at 6 o'clock in the morning, and all the private boaters and all the charter boats, and everybody believes in their heart that they need to get to the bait barge at 6 o'clock in the morning. That is unbelievably lame. Because then you get there, and what's the very first thing you start doing? You start to complain. You start to bitch and moan because, oh my gosh, there's so many boats here. There's such a long line. King, I already told you how to avoid the line. Get to the bait barge before 5 o'clock in the morning, or don't go out until after 7. If you get there before 5 or you go out after 7, there won't be a line. If you go out after 7, gang, you're not going to be first, but at least you won't be setting in a line to get your bait. And if you're going to fish coastal and you're not going offshore and you're not worried about it, then there's no reason to get out there at dark 30, because the spots that I give you are not about being there early. They're about conditions. They're about current. They're about wind. They're about clarity of the water, and they're about bait. And this is a great one that I was thinking about a couple days ago, that I've never used this, and I'm going to use it right now, and you're going to hear me say it for the first time. Why do I focus so much on having as much bait as I can? And I didn't even realize this until it was pointed out to me yesterday. Because when you have as much bait as you possibly can have on the boat, it makes it so easy to catch fish. When you don't have to conserve that live bait, when you pull up to the bait barge and you get, oh, we only need a half a scoop today, I would look at you and go, then I don't want to go. If we only need I don't want to go, because you've already told me that you're not planning on catching anything. And what a poopy place to be in if you've already decided before you even leave that you're not going to catch anything. That's what I hear when people say, oh, we only need a half a scoop today. Why are you going? Why are you going? You need as much bait as you can possibly put on the boat. That's why I say to get the biggest bait tank you can possibly have, and always have the biggest bait tank, and always get the most bait you can possibly afford to buy. And I know it's expensive to buy a scoop of bait now. I know it's $50 to buy a scoop of bait. But you know what really sucks is when you're out there and the fish start to bite and you don't have any bait, because you didn't spend $100 or you didn't spend $150 on bait. And you're spending that much filling up your car every day. You're filling up that much to go to that JOB thing. Now it's finally your day to go have fun, and you're going to sweat the bait? No. You want the biggest bait tank you can possibly put on your boat, because it's going to make fishing easy. And I never even used that before, but gosh, that is it. That's why I always want the most bait I can possibly have, because it's going to make fishing easy. I'm going to be able to chum. I'm going to be able to fish the most liveliest bait I can possibly fish with, and I can change my bait as much as I absolutely need to. If I throw my bait out and it doesn't swim right away, I know I can wind it in and change my bait, because I'm not going to run out of bait. That is what is super important to me. That is one of the most important things to me. When you call me and talk to me, when you call about my website and you ask me questions, the very first thing I always say is, what is the most important thing? Bait. You got to have a giant bait tank, the biggest bait tank you could possibly have, dead center in the middle of your deck. And I hear these guys say, well, my wife doesn't really like it. She wants that deck space. Well, you know what? Then the bait tank becomes a table. The bait tank becomes a table when your wife's on there. Put a tablecloth on there and put your bottles of wine and your cheese and all that. And then the minute that they leave and you're going fishing, rip that tablecloth off and fill that bait tank up with as much bait as you possibly can have, because it just makes fishing easier. That is the key. I'm going to use that on all my seminars at the show. Why do I want as much bait as I can? Because it makes it easy. When I was running the Wild and Sack up in Dana Point, we put 20 scoops of bait on that boat every single morning. Yep, it took me 45 minutes to load the bait every single morning at bait barge in Dana Point. Why? Because it matters. The more bait I can put on the boat, the easier fishing's going to be. It's just going to be that much easier because I can chum and I can change my bait. The whole idea of using live bait is to have the liveliest bait you can possibly have when you get out there on the water. So that's why I try to have as much bait as I possibly can have. My 21-foot Wellcraft has a 65-gallon bait tank with troughs in it. Yep, I tore the seats out, threw those in the trash because I don't care. I don't need to sit down. I need bait. So I threw the chairs where you would set center console, have two chairs. I threw those in the trash and I put a giant bait tank right there with probably a foot and a half or 2 feet of room on the stern to fish in. And the rest is bait tank because I don't care. If I get to where I'm going and I don't have enough bait, the day is going to be brutal. It's going to be very hard to put together any type of catch. So that's one of those things that just are non-negotiable with me. And if I come with you on your boat like I did for years as a guide and I was your saltwater guide, we would pull up to the bait barge. Well, we had the conversation long before I ever got there. Hey, make sure you bring enough money to buy bait tomorrow because they don't take credit cards at the bait barge. You need cash. You're going to have to tip the attendant, and we're going to put at least 3 scoops of bait on your boat. 3 scoops of bait. I used to hear this all the time. Last time we went out, we got a half a scoop and we had bait left when we got in. And I'd be like, yeah, well, that's why you called me. Why'd you have bait left when you got in? Because you didn't catch anything. And the last thing I'm going to do when I go fishing with you is already shoot myself in the foot and expect to catch nothing. A half a scoop of bait. If you say that the next time you pull up to the barge, then remember you're telling your friends and yourself that we expect to catch nothing today. Why are you going? I can't understand that. Why would you even go if you're already expecting to catch nothing? Perfect example. Brand new member, and I know you're listening right now, Richard. Brand new member called me up day before yesterday, and he's all, hey, this website thing, I've had my boat for about a year now. We never catch anything. How's this website thing work? I'm like, so glad you called me, Richard. We went over how it all works. I went over the community. I explained to him how it's important to anchor on the spots. I explained to him how it's important to have spots. If you go to the community right now and look at the last report that was just put up a few minutes ago by Richard, you're going to see he had the best trip he's ever had yesterday just because he simply became a member of the website. And he did. I'm not talking about a kayak, Jerry. If you ever been to one of my seminars, you'll love this. Why do people fish on a kayak? Because they don't have a boat. Sorry, Jerry. I know fishing on a kayak's fun, but you know what's even funner? Standing up. You know what's even funner? Getting a warm something to eat. You know what's even funner? Brailing scoops of bait onto the kelp patio, brailing scoops of bait at the edge of the boiler rock. Those things are all fun. I'm not taking anything away from you, Jerry. Don't be embarrassed. I do that at every one of my shows. I ask who's got a kayak, and the people raise their hands, and then I say, you know why you fish out of a kayak? Because you don't have a boat. I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm just having fun. It's humor. If you've ever seen me speak, you know it's all about making people laugh. And boy, if somebody laughs, I'm on a roll and I'm on my way. Jerry, I love you, man. Thank you for hanging in there and just understanding it's just humor. But gang, he can't put it more than a half a scoop, and I understand that. And if your bait tank can't hold more than a half a scoop, there's senseless to fill it up and kill all your bait. But why do I always talk about having the biggest bait tank you can possibly have? Because it makes fishing easy. It just does. It makes it easy. And when I go fishing, I want to have the very best chance of catching fish. I'm not going to take Kelly Girl out fishing and then shoot myself in the foot before I get there because I can't even imagine bringing my wife with me and pulling up the bait barge. with my 65-gallon bait tank and telling them to give me a half a scoop. We wouldn't even be able to catch the half a scoop and be swimming around in there. We'd have to drop the level of the tank. We'd probably have to turn off the bait pump just to catch a half a scoop of bait in my giant bait tank. But it's the truth. It's what matters. It's the things that matter. Anchoring on the spot, that matters a lot. And most of the new boaters that come onto our website, they don't even know how much anchor line, chain, rope, and how big their anchor is because they've never anchored. And that's why they suck. And that's why they don't catch anything, because you got to anchor. Like I tell everybody when they're talking to me on the phone, the ocean is a giant desert. And the spots are tiny little oases in the middle of the desert where the fish live. So if you've just gone out there and drifted all the time, yeah, I understand your sister's brother's aunt's cousin caught a fish drifting one day. I don't go out there for one, and you shouldn't either. We go out there to catch every single fish on the spot. That's how I approach it every time I go. I want to make sure that I catch as many fish as I possibly can catch that day I go fishing. And how do I do that? By anchoring the boat. And on my Wellcraft, I don't have an anchor winch. And I don't make Kelly Girl pull the anchor. But there are days where we're out fishing on our skiff, and I'll pull the anchor 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times if that's what it takes to make sure the boat is anchored up on the spot proper. And I'm pulling it by hand, and I'm pulling a 25-pound anchor with 30 feet of chain, and then whatever the depth of water is and rope. But I'm pulling that by hand. Why? Because I know if I get it up and get the boat back over to the spot proper so that we lay on it, so when Kelly throws her line in the water, she has a chance to catch a fish. All these things matter. Have the most bait you could possibly have. Know your anchor, know your chain, know your rope, know exactly what kind of ground tackle you have so you know that you can set up on the spot proper. Know how to read conditions. We talk about it all the time on our website. Know about current. Current is not tide, and tide is not current. You need some type of current for the fish to bite. I read a lot of reports this weekend because I told everybody that followed our game plans this weekend that if you left a report, you had a chance to win a 4-pack to go to the show. And we just gave that away because he gave a phenomenal report. But there were so many really, really good reports. But Mr. Giles gives a good report almost every week. So he deserved the 4-pack. Those of you that aren't leaving reports, but you're using the website and you're going out there and you're having fun, share the information, gang. We built a better mousetrap. We built a better social platform where we can all interact with each other, and no one's going to ever feel threatened on there or feel like something's not supposed to be asked or you're not supposed to share. It's all about sharing as much as we can, because like Dan and Kim and I have talked on the phone many times, they're about to take every single thing away from us as far as fishing goes. That is the plan. That is the plan. They are the people that put up the MLPs. They're the people that are putting this 30 by 30 up. These are the people that do not want anybody walking around like me with the suntan. That is, I am enemy number one. Anybody that goes out and on the ocean and enjoys themselves, they want to put a stop to this. That's why it's imperative that we all share our information with each other so that we can all have success when we go out fishing. Because if we all are successful and we all work together as a team, then we have a very good chance of fighting these closures. We have a very good chance. What I don't think the industry understands is elections are won and lost nowadays with social media. Social media is such a monster nowadays that we can actually get things changed if we all work together. We get the commercial guys, we got to get with them. They're not gonna let us down. We all should be working together with the commercial fishermen. They're not the enemy, no matter what your mother, sister's aunt, cousin told you. They are trying to keep the ocean open just like we are. We all need to work together as a team. And that is this social media platform that I'm trying to do. And I don't know if you saw this morning, but we're crushing it over there on YouTube right now. We're getting 3 million views a month over on YouTube. People have found us over at YouTube around the globe. Things are happening. Your Saltwater Guide is growing so quickly with all of your help. It wouldn't grow at all if it wasn't for all of you. But I believe in my heart that if we all work together and we all work as hard as we possibly can, sharing all the information that we all gather, because I can't do this without Dan and Kim. I can't do this without Scott. I can't do this without Brandon. I can't do this without Jerry on the kayak. I can't do this without Kevin. I can't do this without all of you sharing so that we can all work together to put together the best game plans we can put together so that our friends, all the members of the website, all have a very good chance of catching fish when they go out fishing on their private boat. And then we keep building this thing up. We have over 3,700 members on the website right now. That's 3,700 people that are working together for the common goal to keep the ocean open so we can go fishing. As this thing starts to really get going now with the new app that I'm launching at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show, and it's going to be super easy for everybody to be a part of, and they're going to get to see how the community all works together. All this is going to help us to keep the ocean open so we can all enjoy this, because that's the key. They want to close everything. That's the only thing that they want to do. I don't know why, but they are hell-bent on closing everything. They do not want us having fun. So, and they don't want the commercial guys to make a living fishing. That is so sad. Thank you, Dan. But we all need to work together. We all need to work together, and that's what I've tried to do for the last, well, I've started working with 976 and Phil Freeman over there 20 years ago. Before that, I worked with Danny Jackson, the guy that makes Anglers Chronicles videos. Him and I made a plethora of videos 29 years ago today, and we used to sell those spot videos at all the local tackle shops. Don Brockman, Joe Berrien, and myself went out. Danny Jackson filmed us. I've been trying to keep this community tight and growing together for a long, long time. Then I started working with the guys over at Fish Dope, and we started to build that great community over there. And I was right there in the very infantile stages with Jason and Ali and sharing my information and then gathering as much information as I could from all my buddies. John Tully, hey, bud, thank you for joining us. But we all need to work together. We all need to work together to keep the ocean open so we can all keep fishing. And that's what we're doing over at Your Saltwater Guide. So the next time someone asks you, hey, is that website really worth it? Tell them, show them. And you're going to be able to show them super easy here in a week and a half. You're going to be able to pull the app up on your phone, and it's going to work on all phones, Android phones and iPhones. The app is really close to being live for everybody. I have it on my phone. It's working phenomenal right now. Everything comes in super clear and works very, very well. I'm very happy with it, and I think you all will be happy too. But it's going to just connect us more and make it even better. The community is so important. Alfie, you won. You won the 4-pack. You won the 4-pack. I saw you jump. I don't know if you're already on here, but I just saw you leave that. But the app will be live. Every single member, you'll have access to the app. New members, I guarantee you it's going to cost more after the show. So if you're sitting on the fence going, I don't know if I should get involved. This guy sounds kind of shady. Yep, I just got into the business back in 1974. So I'm brand new. I haven't been doing it as long as you. My family's only been in it since 1947. So yeah, we could just be a flash in the pan. We might not be around very long, but since 1947, that's all. My dad, they named Dana Point Harbor after my father. We got a little street cred. I'm just trying to give back all the cool stuff that I learned over all the years. And when people go, oh, well, you charge $9.99. Well, if I gave it away to you for free, you wouldn't use it. All right? Let's just be honest. If it was free, you wouldn't use it. And if $9.99 bugs you, go to the gas station and go tell them, hey, I want 2 gallons of gas. That's it. I just want 2 gallons. That's what it costs. It costs 2 gallons of gas to be a member for a month. Is that insane? Or it costs a tank of gas, one whole tank, to get the game plans. and the membership. Gang, I promise you, I will never let you down. I'll always be here for you. Guys that are watching, do I answer my phone when you call? Do I talk to each and every one of my members? Absolutely, because I want to make sure you have the best possible day on the water that you can possibly have, and it matters. And I'll never let you down. So keep on watching me, keep on checking me out, keep on following me on social media. Let's keep growing this thing. Let's get it humongous. You can't even believe how fast the numbers are growing. We're having 5,000 new subscribers a month over on YouTube. It's insane. We have 130,000 followers on Facebook, gang. It's just going bananas. I can't believe where it's going, but I thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I always appreciate all of you. I don't take any of you for granted, and I will be at the show and I will talk to everybody. You know me, I love to talk, and then I get to have you all at the show with me. I'll talk to all of you. I promise. I'm super easy to talk to, and I'm super easy to approach. Dude, we're going to do this tomorrow, gang, and we're going to have a great show. And then Wednesday, we're going to have another great show with Text the Show. And really watch tomorrow and pay attention tomorrow, because we have a humongous announcement tomorrow. We have one of the most coolest people joining us on Friday, and we're going to announce it tomorrow, because tomorrow he does a test run with me and my buddy Elliot. And then once we know we got him on the test, then we can promote it. So pay attention tomorrow, because Elliot and I are working with him at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then we'll announce it. And I guarantee you there isn't one of you that wants to miss the show on Friday if this person actually follows through, which I believe in my heart he will, but we don't want to make the announcement until we do the warm-up tomorrow. So this should be phenomenal. So pay attention. Friday's show is going to be absolutely incredible, but so will all the other shows leading up to it. They always are, I promise. And don't forget, Text the Show Wednesday. Those of you listening on Spotify and Apple Podcast and Megaphone, it's growing mind-bogglingly fast over there. I got an email saying that our podcast is growing faster than they've ever seen any private entity podcast grow. So that's only because of all of you listening in your cars when you're to and from work, or whatever you do to listen to me on the podcast channels. That's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Megaphone. So if you're already watching me and you haven't subscribed to those platforms to listen to me on, please do so. Go over there and just do that. So when you're cruising in your car and you're with your kids and stuff, you can listen to me. Remember, I never cuss. I promise. I don't cuss. That's not me. That's why I can do my show live every single day. I think I'm the only guy doing a live podcast Monday through Friday every single day. The rest of these podcasts that you watch, they're all pre-recorded, because they have to cut out all the cuss words, or they have to put them on a different platform, because nobody wants to hear straight F-bombs the whole time. It's just not cool. It's not cool for the family. It's not cool for the wife. It's not cool for the children. And you'll never hear me do that. That's why you can bring all your children to my show. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. My sister has stepped up to the plate big time. We're going to have a bunch of stickers for the children. We're going to have all kinds of cool bags, and we'll probably give away some passes to go fishing out of Dana Wharf. I'm sure my sister will put that together, but she has a bunch of shirts she's given us for the children. So Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, my sister Donna has stepped up to the plate big time to make sure I have stuff to give to the children that attend my seminar. And if you haven't been there before, I like to bring the children up right before I start. All children, I want them up by the stage, and I like to let you all know that they're the only ones in the audience that matter to me. You guys already got the bug. You already know. You're going to go fishing the first chance you can get, but we need to keep these children in on it. So I make sure they know that how special they are to be. Plus, you're dragging them to a trade show. They don't want to go to a trade show. They want to go to Disneyland. Believe me, you bring them to mine, I'll make sure that they understand how important they are. All right, gang. Thanks for watching me. I will see you all tomorrow. Adios.